tips for the communication. The first one in a communication, what do you think is one of the most important things in a communication? What is communication about? And the most important is listening. Listening is very important. How can we communicate with others if we don't listen what they want? If somebody tells you what they want and we do something else, we get distracted or we're on our phone, can we make them happy? Can we give them what they want? And listening and paying attention and looking, being there, being in the moment with the other person, it's one of the most important. And when you listen, be there, listen there. So we're going to continue with questions where you can ask, you can make, if you don't understand, I'm going to show you shortly what you can ask, how can you convey the idea towards something that you understand. Number two most important thing in a communication. Have you been talking with passion about something and somebody interrupted you? Did you say to him, can I finish please? Can I finish my idea? How was that? Did you feel a bit annoyed? Also, when you were discussing, did you have times where we were discussing about you got caught in a discussion, discussing certain principle, and then a phone rings or somebody interrupts you. Where can I put this? What can I do with this? And you explain what you can do, and then when you go back, you don't remember what you're talking. You were asking, where did we remain? What we were talking about? It's interruption. Interruption is very important. When the other person talks, allow them to talk. And to continue on the third point is the continuation. That's the pause. So we don't interrupt, we let them to finish, and then we use a pause. Use a pause 3 to 5 seconds, it depends. Use 5, 5 is the safest. Because in the moment when somebody is pausing, they're talking, they're very passionate, and perhaps many times we end up with like a conclusion, what we try to say. And we end up with delivering that message, the conclusion, and do we need some time perhaps to absorb what we said or to think what we are going to say next. So it takes a little bit of time to absorb that. And allowing them to finish and giving the pause. You can ask if you like. If you're not sure, we can pause, we can look in their eyes, so doing an eye contact. Because many times when we are thinking, when delivering a message, when we absorb, our eyes tends to be on a side or on up, we're thinking of what we can say. So in the moment when you make eye contact, and the person looks at you in eye contact, it means they kind of deposit the ball. And then you can smile, and you can ask if you can share something. I'm going to discuss this. This is the point where you can ask later. The fourth point is clarification. The moment if it's something that you did not understand, if you're not clear or think it's worth clarifying, you can mention something. Thank you for sharing. I love the idea, and just for me to understand, just for me to make sure that I have this right or I understand the idea, can I ask? And then you can say in your own words, is this what you meant? Number five is open-ended questions. What are the open-ended questions? Open-ended questions are questions which you ask, and usually they start with what, when, where, why, who, and how. These are the kind of questions you can use either to clarify, you can use to develop a conversation. You can have a conversation only with these 5. You can have a conversation about anything that you don't know. You're just asking questions. When this happened? Very interesting. Who else was there? Who teach you about this? How did you learn about this? Because in the moment when you ask these questions and why they are so important, when you learn more about the other person, when you're asking these questions, you bring back their emotions. Who taught you this? Who inspired you to do this? Do you think that somebody will have emotions when they talk? Who inspired them? Like if you, for example, in an interview and you say, since when did you start working in this? Great. And who inspired you? Who motivates you? I'm curious. Who motivates you in the morning? I see you have a lovely smile today. Who motivates you? Do you think that person heart will come and he will have energy? And this is why where these open-ended questions have an effect, very strong effect. They can be used to develop a conversation. They can be used to bring some emotions in life. And this is how you can benefit. Play with them. Even if you're stuck in a conversation, you don't know what to say, use them. And one way we can use this is to find out, for example, in an interview or you have a discussion, a conversation, is what the person wants. What are you looking for? How this person should be? How will it be for you to find this person? So these questions will help you to discover what do they want, what are they looking for? Because in the moment what you know what they want, exactly, and you know your strengths, you know your skills, you use that communication to say, to match those. Rule number 6 is no closed-ended questions. Questions that can be answered with yes or no. Are you busy? Yes, no. So those things, those questions ideally, it's good to be aware and it's good to keep them on the side. For example, the seven point is something magic, and I've seen people using this. I've had a lot of cases. I've coached different people, and they were using certain things. They were saying, "I tell this person, they don't hear, they don't understand, they are so hard," and they were very rushed. And I said, instead of saying, "I tell them," say, "Can I share something with you?" And this is number 7. Can I share something? Even if you give feedback, can I share something with you? And why is this very strong and very powerful? It can be used in many ways. If you like to change the subject to a conversation, if, for example, the discussion goes in an area where you're not feeling comfortable discussing about it, instead of saying, "I'm not feeling comfortable discussing about this," you can say something, "Thank you for sharing, very interesting question. Thank you. Can I share something with you? Can I share something? Will be a bad moment to share. Can I share something with you?" And then they will say yes. Because they listen, we're happy to receive, isn't it? Or if I say, "Can I share something with you?" It'll be, "Yeah, I'm happy to receive." When you say, "I want to tell you something," it means that I want to give you something. It's something that, this is me, that's what I want. When you say, "When I share something," it's, "Can I give you something?" How do you find it? Do you find it interesting? We talk a lot. Let's do a little exercise, little stretching exercise. So please stand up. Let's stretch our arms up. On the left, and let's turn to the left. And let's turn to the right. Let's turn to the back. And let's turn to the front. And I stay here a little bit. This feels nice.